In this video, we are going to see the load test of DC shunt motor. So the aim of this experiment is to conduct load test on DC shunt motor to find out the efficiency and draw the performance characteristic curves. The apparatus required for this experiment were, first thing is you are in need of an ammeter in the range of 0 to 20 amps, and second thing is you are in need of an voltmeter in the range of 0 to 300 volt, and you are in need of a rheostat in the range of 175 ohm, 1.5 amps, and then you are in need of a tachometer and some connecting wires. So before starting this experiment, we have to do certain precautions. So the precautions that needs to be taken where, first thing is the DC motor should be started and stopped under no load condition. So without load, you have to start the DC motor, start and stop, right? So next thing is the field rheostat should be kept in minimum position. So the rheostat position should have to be minimum. And next thing is the brake drum should be cooled with water when it is under load. So these are the three precautions that needs to be taken care of while conducting this experiment. Now let me show you the circuit diagram. So this was the circuit diagram for conducting load test on DC shunt motor. So here you are going to provide the input supply. This is going to be 220 volt DC supply, and again you are having a DPST switch, that is dipole single throw switch, and then here we are having a fuse. So the rating of the fuse is chosen in such a way that is 125% of the rated current. So the rated current, power, and all the details about the motor will be there in the nameplate details. You can make use of it to calculate the fuse rating of the machine. Then you are connecting a voltmeter across the supply. Then you are having an ammeter in series with the input circuit. After that you are having a 3-point starter. So this 3-point starter is having three terminals L, F and A. So this line is being connected to one end of the ammeter, and this field is connected to the rheostat. So from rheostat it is being connected to one end of the field winding of the motor, and next this armature terminal is being connected to one end of the armature, and both the other ends of field and armature is being connected to the negative phase of the supply. So and the right side you are having the load. So this S1 and S2 where the spring balance. So it will have a pointer which will show how much amount of load is being applied to the circuit. Now let's start the experiment. So let me explain you how we are going to start this experiment. So this is what the procedure for conducting this experiment. First thing is you have to ensure whether the connections were made as per the circuit diagram. Then you have to ensure whether the motor is in unloaded condition or no load should have to be applied to the motor before starting. That you have to ensure, and also you have to check whether the field rheostat is in minimum position. And by ensuring all these things, you can start the experiment by closing the switch. So then you have to start on the starter. After that, the motor is brought down to its rated speed by adjusting the field rheostat, which is already in the minimum field position. So after that, once the motor is being brought to its rated speed, you have to note down the ammeter, voltmeter readings. Also, you have to measure the speed for the zero load condition. Next, you have to apply the load gradually until the rated current is reached. So, and for each value of load which is being applied, you have to measure the voltmeter, ammeter and spring balance readings. So in this way you have to conduct the experiment, and finally before turning off the motor you have to ensure whether the field rheostat is brought back to its minimum resistance position. Also you have to ensure this motor is being unloaded. So that's all with the procedural point of view. and this is what your tabular column. Here you are going to plot VI, and this is what the spring balance rating, that is the load which you are applying should have to be shown here, and this is S1 difference S2. That is the difference between two loads should have to be placed here, and then here you are having speed. Speed have to be measured with the help of a tachometer, and torque, output power, input power, and efficiency. All these things you have to calculate by means of using the formulas which is provided below. So these are the formulas for calculating the remaining parameters. So finally, with the values obtained, you have to plot a graph. So you have to plot two graphs. So one graph is plotted against output power to speed, torque, and efficiency, and the next graph is plotted against torque and speed. So in this way, you have to conduct experiment. So this is how you have to perform load test in the DC shunt motor. So in order to see this experiment practically, now I will show it to you.
Today we are going to see the load test on DC shunt motor. Here we are going to find the efficiency by applying the load on DC shunt motor. This is the circuit diagram for the load test on DC shunt motor. It is here we are going to use the 3-point starter to start the motor. First we have to connect the voltmeter, ammeter and 3-point starter with a resistor. Then we have rheostat, and we have to connect this rheostat with the field winding. Then this armature terminal is connected to the motor armature windings. This is the panel for the load test on DC shunt motor. Here the supply, it comes from the panel board, and this to ensure the supply, we are connecting this main board. By switch on this main supply, we can ensure the proper supply coming from the panel, and this positive terminal and negative terminal is connected as such in the circuit diagram, and this voltmeter is connected in the board itself. We can see the supply which we are obtaining from the panel board, and this is the ammeter reading, that is a current reading that has come inside this DC shunt motor. Here we are using this 3-point starter. To know this proper connection, we are just open this box and show it for you. Here there are some knobs we can see for the starter. For each and every knob, there will be some resistance added to reduce the starting current. And here there is a rheostat. By varying this rheostat only, we can maintain the speed of the shunt motor. Since this shunt motor is a constant flux motor, we can maintain its speed by using this rheostat. We can vary this flux current, and thereby we can vary this speed of this motor. Now we can see the speed of the motor by using tachometer. Here we have obtained 1504. By varying this rheostat, we can get the different reading. We can see now, by varying this rheostat, we can see the changes in the tachometer, and we have to apply load after the rated speed only, and that's why we can vary the rheostat. This is the reading obtained after varying the rheostat. Now I vary again to obtain the rated speed. We have obtained 1500 RPM now. Now by applying the load, by using this spring value, we can apply the load to the motor. applied the load here, and now we can clearly see that the speed also reduced by after applying speed, and now we can see this ammeter reading. It also changes nearly to 5, and up to this rated current only we can vary the load. This is the nameplate detail of this DC shunt motor, and up to this rated current, that is armature current of 12 amps, we have to apply the load. அதாவது ரேட்டட் கரண்ட்டுக்கு மேலே நம்ம லோடு அப்ளை பண்ணக்கூடாது. ஆக்சுவலாக அதே மாதிரி ரேட்டட் வோல்டேஜ் வரும்போது தான் we have to apply the load, and here we are doing that only. Now I can vary this load again, and at that load, and we can see this variation of load in the spring balance reading, and also we can obtain the speed value. Here we are seeing the ammeter reading and voltmeter reading. In such a way we have to apply load for several times, and until this rated current, up to this rated current of 12 amps we have to apply the load, and by using this formula we have to find the efficiency. This is the tabular column for load test and DC shunt motor. We have to write the voltmeter reading, ammeter reading, spring balance reading and speed, and by formulas we have to find this torque, power, input power, output power and efficiency. Thank you.